If someone didn't know anything about Science Olympiad, what would you tell them?
I'd say Science Olympiad is an organization that offers a series of competitions for students to compete in who are interested in science. And it's divided into different events from everything from geology to insects to physics to biology. And it's really an opportunity to try something new and sort of explore a field in science that you're interested in. And then you get to compete in it and have some fun while you're doing it.
Science Olympiad is obviously a science-based kind of extracurricular event where students can go and learn how to learn about science, learn about how to interact as a team, learn how to study, and know what it means to be in a pressure situation and how to perform. And something like other than like sports, it's more mental, you know.
I would describe it as a fun, like family experience. You have all these people on a team, all have their own certain aspects they're studying with, like you have plants, diseases, and you're all working towards the same goal. And when you're all waiting for your event to go on, everything's so encouraging. So I think it's just a great family. Learning science is a big family.
Science Olympiad, you know, is about science, and well, it's like a ton of, there's like events, which like different categories about different kinds of like sciences, and some of them are related, you know? I'm doing good so far, right?
Of some that are related.
And well, like I think that Crime Busters and food science are related, because they both had to do with chemistry. And, you know, like building events, some of them were about building, some of them were about like study events where you had to study for them, and yeah.
Okay, Science Olympiad is a science program for middle schoolers that inspires ideas of science and math in the middle school grade levels for those students.
Science Olympiad, I think, is a program where kids get to compete in science-related events. And as a team, they get to go to different competitions, meet new people, and experience science in a way that they wouldn't think that science could be experienced.
I would describe Science Olympiad as the best thing that has ever happened to me. It's basically sort of like the Olympics, except that every single event, instead of being sports, it's science. You have all kinds of things from chemistry and biology to crazy things like building events, such as towers and all kinds of things. So I think it's just a lot of fun.
I would describe it as an experience, not so much as an event, and it really changes how you look at science.
I would describe Science Olympiad as it's definitely after school. It definitely takes a lot of time, but it's a fun thing to do. Even if you don't think you like science, it's definitely an unforgettable experience, and you may think, oh, I think this is interesting, and you may really, really learn to like that thing that you thought was really interesting. I think it's an organization that has so many different options, which is great. You don't have to be a physics person. You can be a chemistry person. You can be a biology person. You can pretty much do whatever you want. So it's something that everybody can do. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from.
What is the toughest part of Science Olympiad?
For me, it was deciding what to do, because there were so many events and they all seemed really interesting. Of course, there's like all the studying and you know, the calibrating, engineering devices and stuff, and that can be pretty hard at times. But it's actually not that bad. I think the hardest part was deciding what to do. So.
The studying. It took a lot of self-discipline to sit down, like outside of like the normal schoolwork, and sit down and focus on like bones and just sit there and be like, I gotta know this, otherwise, you know, I'm gonna mess up on competition day and it's gonna be embarrassing. So it was definitely a challenge for me to find that, get in my zone and start studying, and especially without my mom to like kick my butt and be like, yeah, you need to study right now. So I eventually learned how to, you know, get there.
Well, for the specific event that Sean and I did together, Trajectory, just the engineering of putting everything together, figuring out what would be best for hitting the certain targets, and the whole calibration, and of course, any problems that may occur with cookies and such. But yeah, so the whole trebuchet was really the hardest part, getting it all together and figuring out what was what.
Giving up time. Like, you had to go there a lot, and it's fun, you know? But then it's like, oh God, I've been here for hours. What time is it? You know, but it's cool.
Toughest part was trying to study and prepare for the events, especially with Road Scholar. I thought that was a lot of practice, a lot of learning with the maps and the questions and that kind of thing.
The hardest part was definitely the dedication. You have to be very dedicated to the team. When you're on the team, you have to put in a lot of time and you have to put in a lot of effort. And it's a lot of work. It's not just an after-school thing where you can just like chill around. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
The hardest part of Science Olympiad is right after a competition, maybe it's regionals, and you come off with a lot of medals and you're thinking, state's so far away, there's still a month, but there's really not, and you kind of slack off on studying. And the other hardest part about Science Olympiad sometimes is just trying to work with your partners, because it's a great experience. I love every single one of my partners to death and back, but sometimes you just can't avoid arguments, and the hardest part is definitely trying to work through those, but it just makes you grow so much more as a partner.
I think the hardest thing was the time commitment, because I'm terrible at managing time. And so, yeah, that was the hardest thing, was just understanding that being part of that team, you're going to have to put in a lot of effort.
Definitely the toughest thing, hands down, is time management, because you're, even if you're not on the team, if you want to do well and you want to feel accomplished and you're kind of serious about it, you really want to put in the time to study, and that takes a lot of time. If you have school, if you have sports, if you're in dance or acting, or if you're in any other extracurricular, and it's really hard to focus when you have a bunch of other things going on as well. And even if you make the team and you have your regular school to excel in, and it's getting later in the year, stuff's getting harder, and it's really hard to manage your time with Science Olympiad and your schoolwork and other extracurriculars.
If you had to pick a favorite moment, what would you pick?
I think one of them would have to be just hanging out with all my friends at the different competitions and having fun and goofing off. And then I'd say the other one was I did an event called Disease Detectives, which is studying public health and outbreaks of diseases. And it was a really hard event. Every year we did it, we were always hit by a curveball at the competition. You know, we thought we had studied everything, and we'd come to the test and wouldn't know anything that was on there. And then finally, the very last year that I did it, the test that we got was just sort of like the ideal test, and we knew everything on there. And then we ended up getting first in it, and sort of to, get first place in something after 3 years was a really satisfying experience.
Definitely the field trips. Most definitely the field trips. I mean, I did anatomy, and with Nick, and you took us to the Body Worlds exhibit, which was so cool. I want to go back. And it was just also really educational, and it was just different to learn about what your event was in a different setting, or the what was it, the wild desert, the living desert with Danny, and just that coral snake. Was it a coral snake or was it a gopher? It was a gopher snake, and it just slid up, and Danny was like, "No, it's a gopher snake." It's application, real world. But yeah, definitely all the field trips.
The best moment, that has got to be when me and my fossil partner got second on our first year of fossilness. Just going through the list, 6th place, like maybe, like we feel good about this. And getting to like 4th, 3rd, we're just like, maybe not. And then 2nd, we're just like, oh my God. It's probably one of the best moments I've ever had there.
I can think of a couple. Like one where, like, at like a competition, and then like all the events are done, and you're like sitting there and you're sort of waiting, but then you're like, oh, that was exhausting, you know? And then you're sitting there and talking like, how did your event go? I was like, oh, I did awful. Well, that's okay, you know? And you're like just laughing about it, because then at that point, you can't do anything about it right then. So you're just like, well, whatever, we did our best, you know? And then it's like a lot of fun. And then after that, though, is like another good part where you're at the actual like awards ceremony thing. And also it's really stressful though, because then you're like, are they gonna call veto it or are they not? And it's like, I don't know. And then sometimes they do, and that's fantastic, because then you're like, the whole team, even if it's not your event, you're just like screaming at the top of your lungs because you're so excited, which I think is great, so, yeah.
Best moment I can recall is my 8th grade year at the state championship at Cal State Long Beach, and we did really well, and it was really fun to be part of that team.
Over the year, I had a lot of amazing moments as a team. So some of the feelings were as you come out of an event and you feel like really strongly like about how you did. You feel really great about how you did. You just have like a feeling of accomplishment. That's always a great feeling. Or when you're sitting with your team, as a team, wherever it is, just hanging out, it's a great bonding experience. Or when you're at awards and you hear your team's name being called and everyone just gets excited and there's like roaring and you can't hear anything but you're excited, and that's just the best feeling.
One of my favorites, I don't really have a best since there are so many. One of my favorite moments of the past year with Science Olympiad was probably one of the Saturday sessions when I was with Richard. And we were doing bug flashcards, and then there was just this incredible team bonding moment when he wouldn't talk to me since he's semi-catatonic, I think. And I instead decided to do this sort of tally mark game where every time he would speak to me, I would give him a point. And so we just went back and forth studying and quizzing each other, and it just brought the whole team together because everybody started jumping in and asking questions, and Richard finally opened up, and it was just so great.
All the competitions were fun because you got to hang out with people and stuff.
One year, my 2nd year in Science Olympiad, the state competition, which we qualified for, came at the end of spring break, and so as a team, we decided we would go camping. That was amazing. It was really great. It was definitely probably more bonding than studying, but it was a lot of fun. You know, you learn things about people that you didn't know before, and it was fun to just be in a different environment with people that you were really good friends with. I think another time this was before even the team was made, my very first year, we were building a trebuchet, and I'll always remember this, I don't know why. And there was a member that was also building a trebuchet, and his name was Theo. And Mrs. Steele was playing a soundtrack, and Louis Armstrong came on. And Theo had a 8-foot-long piece of 2x4 wood, and he was using it as a microphone and dancing with it to the Louis Armstrong song. And we laughed for a very long time, and I think that was one of my favorite memories. So, yeah.
Why should someone participate in Science Olympiad?
I think inside the classroom, you know, Mrs. Steele is a great teacher, and you learn a lot of, you know, amazing stuff. But Science Olympiad is sort of, I guess, taking it to another level and getting a chance to learn a lot of things that you'll probably never learn inside of a classroom. And sort of get a feel for, you know, what type of studying is involved and what type of work is involved in engineering and other events.
It's just a great opportunity to like meet new people that you don't necessarily interact with at school. It's a great after school program. I mean, I know a lot of kids, they're not really involved in a whole lot after school, and they may not feel like they could do other stuff, but then Science Olympiad, you just feel like, it feels like home. You could just go in and relax, maybe have a snack, and then go do fun science. It's just a great opportunity to develop your teamwork building skills.
Basically the same reason, the whole family thing, like you're learning as much as you can. There's so many different events, so many different choices you can go through, like anything that interests you. And it's just a great learning experience. It will help you figure out what you want to do later on. Maybe, like it just gives you so many opportunities to learn a certain subject.
Well, here, if you like science and you like to have fun, which if you don't like to have fun, then there's something wrong. But, you know, then you should join Science Olympiad. I mean, it's so much fun and it's about science. So if you're interested in any of that, then you should just try it. You should you know, it's good to make an attempt. Because even if you don't get on the team, you still had so much fun, like for so many months. And that's what matters, you know?
I would say that Science Olympiad prepared me for high school. It prepared me for the classes that I was taking. It prepared me for the kinds of ways of thinking that are important, you know, in the future. It gave me exposure to new things that were extremely interesting, like robotics and maps and other, you know, science, biology, that kind of thing.
I think that anyone should try Science Olympiad and anyone should participate in it because it's not only about science, it's a team event. I personally science was not my main thing that I always wanted to do. Science wasn't always my favorite, but I tried Science Olympiad and it made me really like science and made me really have fun with it. And it helped me a lot at school. It helped me become more interested. It helped me become more interested in science as a subject. And I think so anyone should try it as a team event. It's fun to be on a team.
People should definitely try out for Science Olympiad, even if they don't think that they like science, because to be honest, when I first heard about Science Olympiad in 7th grade, and I told my mom about it, and she was definitely, oh, you need to join this. And I was actually against the idea in the beginning, ever since I was in 2nd grade all the way to 7th grade, I thought that I wanted to be a writer. And I was thinking, science is not the thing for me. I am definitely an English writing sort of gal. And it's been the most incredible thing that's happened to me. I definitely know I want to go into science now. It's my favorite subject at school, and it's just one of my favorite hobbies. So definitely, people should join Science Olympiad because you don't know how amazing it can impact your life and how much it can change you.
Because you get to do a lot of new things. Like, I wasn't super psyched about it, but I signed up for it because I needed something to do. And I found out that, like, I got to use a bunch of new tools. That was really fun. I got to use, like, drills and welders and stuff.
Well, it's a great thing to do. You can tell everybody, hey, I'm a Science Olympian. It's really great because you feel like you're a part of something. And you can be interested in anything. Like, if you're interested in stars, there's an event for that. If you're interested in hands-on building stuff, there's an event for that. If you're interested in maps and traveling, there's an event for that. If you're, interested in rocks and fossils, there's an event for that. And there's an event for everything. If you love cooking, there's even an event for that. And it's just, you don't really have to be interested in anything to begin with. You can just think, oh, that sounds interesting, I'm going to try it. I really wasn't interested in that much before I started, and then I just found an event that I really enjoyed, and then because you find something that you enjoy, you really want to do well, and you want to dive deeper into that event. And if you can find something that you like to do, then you might as well go someplace, do Science Olympiad, where you actually have an environment where you can study that thing that you're interested in.
What was the most surprising thing about Science Olympiad?
Well, we walked in and we sat down and we were all excited to take the test. And they said go, and we opened up to the first page and realized that we didn't even understand any of the sentences or any of the words on the page. And I guess we spent the entire hour just laughing and making fun of ourselves because we didn't know a single word on the test. So that was pretty surprising.
How much fun it was. How much fun the day of competition was, and waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and going out to that college. And yeah, it was stressful, but we had a great time. It was just, we had a lot of fun. We were all either freaking out studying or playing rock band or playing football or something, and then, you know, you go off to your event, you do your best, and the reward at the end of getting that medal at the awards ceremony, that was just, it was very rewarding, and it just taught you the meaning of good work, hard work.
I guess the one that surprised me the most was the amount of events and how it switched out every couple of years. Because that first moment, I did Rocks and Minerals first thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, where'd it go? So like they have so many different events that they have to switch them out every now and then, and that's how I got interested into fossils. And so that was pretty interesting, I thought.
When you joined Science Olympiad, when I first joined, see, I didn't really understand what it was. I just thought, oh, this sounds like fun. My brother did this. I kind of want to do it too. He had fun. I'll do it. And then I didn't really know what to expect much. And then it turns out it's a lot of work. And I don't find that like as surprising, but other people might. And then I think the most surprising for me, because other people might find the work thing surprising, but for me, I found like, you know, you get to be so close with the people that on Science Olympiad, and sort of like become your own family. And like people from your school are like 2 grades behind you, and you might not have like ever spoken to ever, like you're suddenly like best friends with them. And I think that's great. And I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to become like a family.
I would say the most surprising thing was the level of depth of the material that all these kids were able to you know, have in their brains, and I was really excited to see that and be in such an environment where there's all these active minds.
With Science Olympiad, there is a lot of dedication that you have to put in. There's a lot of hard work that you have to put in, but there's also a lot of fun. I never expected to have those fun Saturday meets where we would sit around celebrating all of our accomplishments. I never thought that as a team we'd become super close with each other. I never thought that we would all be a family, but it was a big shock to me that when you get put on this team, you do become a team and you do become a family.
The most surprising thing to me, I think, is that how much you get to grow and learn as an individual, because you're part of a team and it's just such a phenomenal experience. I was never on a team before, I think, so Science Olympiad really opened me up to the idea that, hey, these people at school, they're not just my friends, they're really like family. And I think the second most surprising thing is that I actually eat a lot more different things nowadays. I had my first cupcake in 7th grade, and that's all because of Science Olympiad, and I actually even have a bit of a sweet tooth now.
I learned that I could weld. That was pretty fun. Yeah, I welded together a metal violin. That was interesting.
You do become a family, even if you're not on a team. You become really close, especially with the people in your event. And there's a lot of friendly competition. And it's definitely always friendly competition. You know, you may get first and your best friend may get second, or your best friend may not place at all, but they're sincerely happy for you that you did as well as you did. And I think more than anything, especially after you make the team, you learn what it's like to be a team player. You learn that even though while what you're doing is very important, how the other people are doing is also just as important. You learn that you need to be supportive of the other people, and you learn that you need to always be able to help each other out, even if it's not your event, even if that's not your area of expertise. You really need to be able to work with a lot of different kinds of people and be able to just be a team player more than focus on yourself as an individual person of the team.
How has Science Olympiad helped you with your further education in high school and maybe choosing a career?
I guess Science Olympiad, I was always interested in science to begin with, but It really helped me narrow down what fields I was interested in and sort of opened me up to new things that I probably never would have considered getting into. And then in high school, already having sort of that know-how on how to study for something really helped with my classes, and then sort of already knowing what I was interested in really helped in high school. So.
Well, it definitely made me love science. It definitely made high school science easier. Actually, my freshman year bio was pretty much a reiteration of what I learned in Science Olympiad, so that it helped definitely there. But I love ecology now, and I do want to major in biology. And I think that's it stemmed from anatomy and ecology and amphibians and reptiles and all those really cool bio events. And so I'm definitely gonna look into a career path that way.
Especially the fossils event, it's helped me out a lot because for my high school I had to do an internship, and I found this great internship site called the Cooper Center. It's the shirt I'm wearing right now, and it's just this big warehouse full of fossils and artifacts found in Orange County, and actually got to dig out my own fossil, and so it's really helped me choose what I wanted to do as a career. So it was a great opportunity coming from Science Olympiad.
Well, I sort of had my career path planned out since like 3rd grade, but I guess I've always just had like an interest in science, and I guess that just like helped reinforce it, you know? Like, I want to do science like in my life, but am I really sure? And then like Science Olympiad, yeah, I do want to do science. And then, what was the other part of that question?
Just helped you in school.
Oh, well, it helped me at school, because, like, you know, when we start learning about other science, like, I know this in Science Olympiad, because you learn, like, other kind of sciences that you might not for, like, a year or two, and then when you do know them, you're like, oh, I just learned this, and then you like, I'm smart, and you can, like, show other people up, which is not, like, a good thing, but then you're like, yeah, I know this.
Science Olympiad definitely inspired me to be to have continued interest in science and that kind of thing. And so that was why I jumped right onto robotics at Servite. That was, should I say Servite or should I say high school? Okay. And so that was why I jumped right onto robotics at Servite. I jumped onto, other science classes, that kind of thing. And that's why I'm going into computer engineering as my major. And that's undoubtedly influenced by Science Olympiad.
Well, like I said, science was never a big interest of mine, but as I participated more in Science Olympiad, I really started to like science, and it helped me become more focused in science class. And now as I'm going into high school, I have more interest in the science classes that I will be taking, and it will definitely help me out as kind of a stepping stone for me to get involved in science and to really think twice about it.
I think that Science Olympiad has definitely made such a huge impact on my life. As I've said before, now I definitely know I want to go into science. Instead of before, I never really liked science, but now after Science Olympiad, I definitely know I'm going to pursue a career in science. It's my favorite subject at school. It has helped me keep my grades up. It has helped me with studying strategies and everything. And I think most of all, it's not just as an extracurricular, but it's just helped me grow as a person. And I think that's definitely the best thing that I've been able to walk away with.
Well, definitely, I noticed a change in my study habits because it really improved my work ethic. I used to be kind of lazy, and then after that, I couldn't be lazy anymore. So it really changed my work ethic.
Again, time management. It really teaches you to manage your time if you have an extracurricular. And then even the events that I've studied with Science Olympiad, there's things that I'll learn that will somehow relate to something I'm learning about in school. I know in one of the events I learned about townships, which is a section of land, and in history class, not a couple weeks later, we learned about townships in history class, and it was nice to have some background knowledge so you could really focus on other things. You didn't have to worry about, okay, what is this thing? And it's also helpful if you do some sort of biology or chemistry or physics, you will take a course in that later on in high school, and it's very helpful to have a good, solid foundation in that. Hi, my name is Cambria Jones, and I'm once a member of the Science Olympiad team at Beechwood. I'm always a member of the Science Olympiad team at Beechwood.
Hi, I'm Tanner Henkhaus, and I'm a science geek who plays water polo.
Hi, my name is Eugene, and I'm a very proud Science Olympiad alumni of Beechwood.
Hi, my name is Iman Richards, and I am a Science Olympian.
Hi, my name is James Carr, and I am a computer engineer because of Science Olympiad.
Hi, my name is Patrick Spitzer, and I'm a paleontologist.
I'm Ariana Kim. I'm going to Wheaton College in the fall. I'm a bird lover. I enjoy catching lizards, and I highly recommend that you join Science Olympiad because it's a great experience, and the teacher's awesome, and the mentors are great.
Hi, my name is Sean Malidi. I'm a former Beechwood Science Olympiad member. I joined the team in 2006 and was a member for 4 years. I attended Troy High School and was on the Troy High Science Olympiad team, and I'll be attending Princeton University in the fall to study physics.
Hi, I'm Tara E. Schneider, and I am a human being who happens to like science and stuff. Yay! Done it.
We're going with it. We're going with it. You're awesome.
Hey everybody, you should join Science Olympiad!
It's absolutely amazing.
And it's fun.
And you get one of these cool t-shirts.
You lost Tara.